Hi everyone, I'm Moinak. I'm a senior product manager here at Mixpanel, and I want to talk to you about one of the newest features that we're releasing this week called Lookup Tables. So, before we get into the meat of the feature itself, let's briefly touch upon what was the main problem that we were looking to solve here. So, there really isn't a perfect data model. When teams are deciding what pieces of information to send into a system like Mixpanel, they have a best guess of what pieces of information will be interesting and sufficient for analysis by end users. What typically happens is the questions that analysts and PMs need to ask from the data changes. Products change, competitors change, and obviously questions also have to evolve. And as a result, typically what happens is when PMs and analysts, go into Mixpanel to get answers to make product decisions, a lot of times they encounter missing attributes. This is quite frustrating because people are actually trying to wrangle the data to make some key product decision. And if it's missing, they usually have to then download that data or export that data and then join that with other pieces of information. But really, you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get answers to these questions. Uh, Else, they actually just start tracking those missing pieces of information moving forward. But the problem is, all of that historical data that we already had in Mixpanel is basically of no use. That is the main problem that we were looking to solve with lookup tables. So lookup tables is nothing but the ability for our Mixpanel customers to augment their data within Mixpanel with additional properties. So let's say you have a property, you have an event property, or let's say you have a profile property. You can actually just add lookup table to it and then enrich it within Mixpanel without sending any net new sets of events. So what are some similar concepts? Maybe you're familiar with VLOOKUPs in Excel or Google Spreadsheet. This provides the ability to do VLOOKUPs in Mixpanel. Let's say you're familiar with fact tables or dimension tables. This is dimension tables for Mixpanel. Let's take an example. Let's say we're an e-commerce platform and we're tracking purchases, but the only attribute that we're tracking is the product ID, obviously in addition to the user, which is distinct ID. So if I have the product ID, I can ask questions like total purchases broken down by the product ID, or the total purchases broken down by the product category is actually not something that I can ask because I don't have that piece of data. I only have the product ID. So I can ask anything to do with product ID, but I can't ask questions like purchases by product category. I can't ask sum of product price. I can't figure out what was the total amount of merchandise value that I sold in my platform because I just don't have that piece of information. But here's the frustrating part. The PMs and analysts know the product catalog is at their disposal. They have all the necessary pieces of data to really get to those answers, but that data does not exist within Mixpanel. That data was not sent into Mixpanel when the events were sent in for purchases. That is exactly what Lookup Tables is going to solve for you. Customers who have that product catalog as a CSV somewhere can actually bring that into Mixpanel and upload it. Once that's done, they can let us know which event property to join that to. So they were sending in purchase information with the property of product ID. They can tell Mixpanel that this product catalog that I just uploaded should be linked to the product ID that you already have within Mixpanel, and that's all that we need. Once we make that connection, the amount of data that our customers had to ask questions on suddenly expanded without our customers having to do any more work. Earlier, they were tracking purchases with product ID 1. Now, without doing anything more, they have access to data like the product category, product color, product price. With this expanded set of data, I can obviously ask and answer questions like purchases broken down by product ID, by product category, or the total amount of products sold through my platform. So let's see this in action by heading over to Mixpanel. So let's say we're a media platform company and we are looking at the total number of video watches that were done. So let's actually try to find what videos were the most popular by our customers. So it looks like there are a few songs there are a few video names that are standing out. Now let's see if there's any genre that stands out. Wait, I'm actually not tracking the genre or the category. Oh no. Well, that is the problem we're looking to solve. So let's head on over to our video catalog. We can actually see a list of all the videos that we have and a mapping of the genre for each of those videos. So we can go ahead and download the CSV and then just upload that with the Mixpanel. So I can head over to data management, lexicon, and then there's a new tab that you see here called Lookup Tables. I can just go in there. I can upload the lookup table, find the lookup table from basically the one that I just downloaded, upload it. Okay, looks like the file has been successfully uploaded. I can go into this detail and show you what's in there. It has the name, it has the columns that I just uploaded. This is genre, the date uploaded, and the last thing. So step one is done. I've gotten all the details necessary for this additional analysis within Mixpanel. Let's move on to step two. Let's go into our event properties and let's find the video name. So I found the video name. I'm going to select it. I'm going to select this map to lookup table and go ahead and find the lookup table that we just uploaded. Okay, looks like the mapping is all done. Now let's go and try that same question that we had. So watch video. Let's change it to a bar graph. Now, if you notice, video name no longer just shows up as a string property. It actually shows up as a different kind of property. It's because now it's been mapped to a lookup table, it's been enriched, it's been embellished. Let's try and click into video name. I can obviously still break down by the old video name that I already had. But in addition to that, I have access to this new piece of data, which is genre. Voila. Looks like gaming videos are actually driving a bunch of consumption on our platform. Great. Now let's see if there's a particular attribution channel that stands out. Looks like Google search and Google ad are showing up as duplicates. Interesting. It looks like I was tracking something like as Google search earlier, but then I moved on to tracking that as Google ad. What I really want for the purposes of my analysis, I just want them to be tracked as Google. Both of them are the same thing. The fact that they're showing up separately is just annoying. Well, I can fix that problem as well. I have this other mapping that I've created for the attribution channel, which is exactly the set of values that exist in Mixpanel right now. And I've created a new category here, a new column called new attribution channel. And Google search shows up as Google and Google ad also shows up as Google. Now let's try to get this data into Mixpanel. So we've downloaded this as CSV. Let's do the same process once more. Let's go into lexicon, data management, go into lookup tables, upload the lookup table, select the CSV, and then it should just take a few seconds. It just completely depends on the size of the file that we're uploading, but it looks like the file was uploaded successfully. Now let's do our step two. Let's go select attribution channel, map to lookup table. Let's find the lookup table that we just uploaded, hit apply. Looks like this is already done. Now we can go and resume our analysis. So watch video. Again, attribution channel looks different. It's because, again, it's also been embellished. It's also been enriched. I can go click into attribution channel. Obviously, I can see the original attribution channel that I already had. You can see search and ad show up differently. Now I can just select into it and then do new attribution channel. And then this is actually going to make it even more clear. Now you can see the two old attribution channels mapped to Google. I can delete the old one. And that's it. Looks like Google is driving a bunch of traffic. Great. Now, I was tracking an experiment on my platform based on a handful of countries. So it looks like I had about 1,000, 1,200 cities that I was running this experiment on. And I just want to see the total number of video watches that came from the experiment cities. So I can try to go in here. I can try to find city and then select those experiment cities one at a time. Kansas City. What else? I had Singapore. I had Seoul. Well, I have 1,200 cities to input here, and this process is going to take me a lot of time. What if there was a better way to do it? Well, guess what? With lookup tables, there is a better way to do it. I don't have to rely on selecting one city at a time at scale. I can just upload another city mapping lookup table with exactly the set of cities that I want as part of the experiment. I can list out all the cities on the left, and then a new property called part of experiment. And I'm just going to drop a true next to each of these. Then I'm going to download this as a CSV. Going through the same drill, I'm going to go back into data management. I'm going to go into lexicon. I'm going to go into lookup tables, trying to find upload lookup table, and find the latest city mapping that we just had. Take a few seconds. Looks like file has been uploaded. Let's do city number. Let's do step number 2, which is mapping it to the lookup table. And this should get us. And then within a few seconds, the mapping looks like it's already done. Let's go and do that exact same analysis. I want to find out the total number of video watches that were done by 1,000, 1,200 odd cities that was focused on. Well, because now city itself has an embellished to not just have the city names, but also this additional tag, or whether it's a part of an experiment or not. It shows up with a different icon. I can click into it. I can select part of experiment, true. And that's it. I saved all that time and I got my answer instantaneously. That is the power of lookup tables.